Thanks for tuning in to the Vintage Cinema Review. On this week's episode, we're covering from 1982, E.T.
E.T., the Extra-Terrestrial. A heartwarming story about a young boy and his friendship with an alien with a funky neck.
Yeah, this made me want to contact somebody in a phone home.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite from the 80s, and we hope we're one of your favorites. If we are, leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify. On Apple, you can leave us a written review. And sit back, relax, and enjoy from 1982, E.T. Hey, this is Dave.
Matt.
And Zap.
And welcome to the Vintage Cinema Review.
Where every week we review some of our favorite films from the past.
Hey, there ain't no late fees here.
Silence is golden. And be kind. Rewind.
Oh, wow. I see a classic there just by the VHS cassette tape there.
You're damn right it's a classic.
That's right, E.T. So this one's off the list on Facebook.
Can it get any better
I don't know.
than E.T.?
I don't know of any kid or anybody our age who hasn't seen this movie.
Okay, you said it exactly. Anybody our age, I think if you look at this movie, there might be some listeners that would be like, what's E.T.? Maybe? No?
Maybe. A small number, I bet.
Like two.
That are
like
listening,
two people.
that are listening to Vintage Cinema Review.
But a lot of kids these days probably don't know who E.T. is.
Well, then they have shit parents.
Yeah.
That's true.
They have absolutely terrible parents.
I
Should
mean,
be
this
slapped.
stuff would come get little like action figures and
This is my
like McDonald's.
This is my second earliest memory of a movie theater.
I think this is probably my first or second.
Yeah, this is up there with that too. It's for me, it's this one or Superman 2, possibly Superman 3.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the years. I forget which one I saw in the theater first, but it was
Return of the Jedi and then E.T., I believe.
My first memory of a movie was actually quite traumatic. It was Fantasia.
Poltergeist. Oh.
No, Fantasia.
Oh, that's like a
Disney
trip and a half.
And I hated it.
Were you doing shrooms at the time?
I was crying. I wanted out of the theater. I remember that, like, hating that movie when I don't know how old I was. It was before this. And I wanted out.
Didn't Fantasia come out in like 1962?
Well, it must have been re-released at a theater, or I don't know.
I mean, they still do that to these days. They'll put old movies or coming up soon. Actually, no, tonight. Oh, as chance would have it, tonight at the Regal Cinema, also the AMC in Camp Hill. Rear Window is playing.
Oh,
Rear Window.
we did
The
that.
original.
That's right, Alfred Hitchcock classic.
With Jimmy Stewart.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
So E.T. 1982, this came out. Release date was May 26, 1982 at the Cannes Film Festival,
That's in France, right?
I believe.
Sure.
Runtime on this, 1 hour, 55 minutes, and it was rated PG. This was directed by Steven Spielberg, written by Melissa Matheson, and produced by Kathleen Kennedy and Steven Spielberg. Budget on this, $10.5 million. Box office, $792.9 million.
God
And counting.
damn. Dude, it's just some quick math on that. That's basically a 7,500% return on your investment. That is nuts. That's insane money.
That's got to be one of the biggest ones that we've seen.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's why I think that is the biggest. That's why Spielberg has a compound
At the time,
with E.T. money.
At the time, this knocked a movie off from the top earner. Do you know what it was?
Jaws.
Good guess. Star Wars.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
But yeah, Jaws was another Spielberg movie. So filming dates on this, September 8th of 81 through December of 81. And then January and February of 82, they did a little touch-up work, I guess, maybe. And this was filmed entirely in California. So that's it. All I got for that fun stuff. I'll turn it over to Zap for the cast.
You can tell on that filming in California.
Oh, absolutely.
Having been there in my youth and even, since then, that's how houses look. They're built on the side of a mountain. There's no grass, but everybody's got a pool. Yeah.
Still really nice houses. Like
Shit, yeah.
those houses are $1 million homes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, today.
Now, I don't know for sure on the fun facts that this came up, and I don't know if either you know this. Is that the same filming location as Poltergeist?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I don't know if it is, but it sure as hell looks like it.
It's the same neighborhood, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it looks very much like it. So
Okay, on to the cast. The cast of E.T., the Extra-Terrestrial, includes but is not limited to Henry Thomas as Elliot Taylor, Robert McNaughton as Michael Taylor, Elliot's older brother, Drew Barrymore as Gertie Taylor, Elliot's younger sister, Dee Wallace as Mary Taylor, Elliot's, Michael's, and Gertie's mom, Peter Coyote as Keys, that's the lead government agent, K.C. Martell as Greg.
I was going to say K.C. Martell and the Sunshine Band.
Nope, just no. C. Thomas Howell as Tyler, Sean Fry as Steve, Tamara Detrow, Pat Bylan, and Matthew Dermott as E.T., and Pat Welsh, Caden Green, and Steven Spielberg as the voice of E.T.
There were 3 E.T.s?
Shit, yeah. There were actually 6 E.T.s. Three of them did the body work, 3 of them did the voice.
They needed 3 people for that.
So there's
a big role, man.
There's some fun facts behind that.
Oh.
There's definitely some fun facts. Oh, it's going to be a fun fact-laden fun fact time when we get to fun fact land in this fun movie.
Yeah, but E.T. had 4 speaking parts, maybe? Or no?
It took a village, Matt.
It did.
I guess we'll turn it over to Matt for a brief synopsis.
Oh, E.T., yeah. If you don't know about this movie, now you know. After a gentle alien becomes stranded on Earth, the being is discovered and befriended by a young boy named Elliot, Henry Thomas. Bringing the extraterrestrial into his suburban California house, Elliot introduces E.T., as the alien is dubbed, to his brother and little sister, Gertie, Drew Barrymore, and the children decide to keep its existence a secret. Soon, however, E.T. falls ill, resulting in government intervention and a dire situation for both Elliot and the alien. That's pretty much the movie.
There it is.
There it is.
All right, guys.
I hope you all enjoyed this.
Yes.
So I guess it's time to steer through the movie a bit here, Zap.
Yeah, let's do that. No, so I got no problem telling you in advance that I love this movie. Absolutely am just captivated by this movie. So there may be a little bit of detail in it, but we're going to enjoy the shit out of it together.
Awesome.
All right. Well, our story begins in a lush forest on the outskirts of a suburban neighborhood under a starlit sky. A group of botanist aliens, all with glowing hearts and a unique appearance, has landed their spaceship to collect various plant samples from Earth. Their serene mission is cut short by the arrival of human government agents, armed with flashlights and determination. The aliens, aware of the potential threat, quickly retreat to their ship and depart. Amidst the frenzied escape, one small alien is left behind. This alien, later named E.T., finds himself alone and stranded on Earth, hidden among the tall trees.
I like those Broncos and Blazers.
Shit, yeah, that was one of the first things I was reminded of too, man.
Classic.
Yeah.
Those are great vehicles, outstanding vehicles.
So, do we ever find out E.T.'s real name?
I think in sequels or books written thereafter, they backfilled it.
Okay.
He had a name. They named his planet. They named all kind of shit, but nobody cares about that stuff. I don't know. I think it's better left to the imagination.
Yeah, just he's E.T., man.
And there was no movies made after that. No sequels, no
Correct.
actual movies.
Correct.
It was like video games and stuff. But.
Right. This movie starts like a lot of ones do in the 80s, and maybe they still do. I don't really notice as much. Do you guys like when they have the credits in the beginning?
Absolutely.
Do you? How about you, Matt? What do you feel about it? Do you like to go right into the movie, or do you like when they have the actors across the screen and produced by?
I kind of agree with Zap. I like the old school vibe to where like it would take 5 minutes of them putting the names on and just like a little like song and like just like showing where it's taking place.
Yep.
Before the actual movie gets into the movie.
Yep.
No, I haven't noticed. They don't do that as much anymore.
That really goes right into like Paramount Pictures, boom, and then like somebody's getting shot or run over.
Right.
Goes right into the movie.
There's a lot to be included in that, though, or a lot to be considered. So there are so many, thanks to the Actors Guild, unions, et cetera, anybody who touches anything associated with the movie has to be included in the credits.
Right.
So in turn, the movie studios have said, all right, up yours. If we're forcing us to include all of this shit, including like the caterers and the janitor and the lady that went to the post office to mail something.
Right.
Fine. We're going to keep all this shit and we're going to put it all at the end because nobody sticks around for that shit anyway. And there you go.
Yeah, but
there's your cred.
The beginning of this movie definitely set the tone. I mean, even watching it now at 48 years old, I was like, yes, or in it. You know, it's at night. You're out in the Pacific Northwest. It just sets the tone. I remember as a kid, this movie kind of scared me a little bit, but I was only like 6, 7 years old.
It's interesting.
Takes you right into the action.
Yeah, and the way they filmed this from the ground, I guess was supposed to give you that perspective.
E.T.'s like point of view.
Well, that
or being a child,
or being a child, right? So that probably fell right in line with what I was feeling as a kid.
Sure. Then that makes sense. That makes complete sense. So low, in fact, that you don't see any of the chasers, any of the pursuers, the government dudes. You don't see any of their heads.
No, just jeans.
Just jeans and keys.
And keys, a lot of
flashlights.
Keys hanging from that dude's jeans.
Yeah.
Keys and flashlights.
And determination. All right. In the nearby suburban neighborhood, we're introduced to a young boy named Elliot, who lives with his recently divorced mother, his older brother Michael, and younger sister Gertie. Elliot is a somewhat lonely kid, yearning for a sense of belonging following his parents' separation. One night, while trying to join Michael and his friends' late-night game of Dungeons and Dragons, Elliot hears strange noises outside. Armed with a flashlight, he ventures into the backyard and follows mysterious footprints leading to the tool shed. There, amidst the shadows, Elliot comes face to face with E.T. Though initially frightened, Elliot soon realizes that E.T. means no harm, and a sense of mutual curiosity develops between them. The trail of Reese's Pieces is strategically placed, and E.T. takes the bait.
Yeah, there we go again with the Dungeons and Dragons. We talked about this actually last week.
Is that right?
Well, I asked you guys if that reminded you of Stranger Things.
Oh, for sure.
And I can totally see that they probably got a lot of ideas from Stranger Things from this movie. I never
Absolutely.
When I watch Stranger Things, I just think about like, oh, it's an ode to the 80s. But I think it's a lot to do with this movie. I mean, they definitely took a lot of parts of that. And was that Dungeons and Dragons in the beginning, correct?
100%. So I played the hell out of that when I was a kid. I mean, it's the same thing. You're sitting around a kitchen table or some kind of game table, and you're just playing the game. And somebody orders a pizza, or somebody's parent is thoughtful enough to have pizza brought, or like it's just great. Or you're eating whatever you're eating. It's just a good on time. And like, yeah, that was a great or a significant part of my childhood.
See, I don't remember as much as like sitting upstairs. There's always like a downstairs thing.
Yeah, in the basement.
In the basement for some reason.
The paneling.
I think the paneling basements. But I remember that was a thing, like playing board games before Nintendo became popular, and like Risk was always fun. Monopoly. Right. Which you like always like had side deals and everything, but like Zap was saying with playing D&D and sitting there watching this, it's something that does take you back at your age now to childhood. But kids growing up today, like I don't think they might not understand.
Maybe not
the whole concept behind that.
They might not.
Did either of you guys notice that one of the kids was smoking?
No, I did not notice that.
Yeah, there was a kid smoking. I think it was
like little Zap hanging out.
I'm serious. I think it was Tyler, the character Tyler.
C. Thomas Howell?
Correct. I'm pretty sure. Wow. I mean, you can see smoke, and look, I swear I saw a cigarette in an ashtray.
A couple notes I wrote down here: the aesthetic of the room, the stained glass lamp. I remember seeing a lot of those in the 80s. Like I knew people that had those hanging down over the table, and then the pizza delivery. Like I don't feel like that's something that people do as much anymore. Now we have Uber and all that, but like back in the 80s, it was like a huge thing to have. You order a pizza and they deliver to your house. Yeah, you go out,
30 minutes or less.
Right, Domino's, or whatever. But that was like a big deal on a Friday night, or really any weekend or any night. You order a pizza if your friends are hanging out.
Hell yeah. That kitchen table reminded me a great deal of sitting at a McDonald's in the 80s. Like the way that kitchen...
Like the corner kitchen table?
That booth aspect was set up. I don't know, just was a nostalgic, look back to McDonald's.
I like the dialogue, too, between the kids. One's calling one a douchebag, the other one's penis breath.
That's right.
And the mom's just kind of like, knock
it
off.
Yeah, stop that.
Like so much stuff you would get away with back then.
I don't remember that growing up, though. Like, I don't remember calling like your friend penis breath or anything.
I never used that one. Douchebag, though, for sure.
Douche, yeah.
Yeah, you douchebag.
I mean, Elliot was a little kid. You're making up words as you go along. You're trying to throw out like your nastiest word along with some part of their body. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, what movie was that? Somebody called
Stupid face.
Yeah, somebody called somebody a waterhead.
Well,
like the Outsiders or something.
It was something like
waterhead.
Waterhead.
I was like, what does that even mean,
Interesting. Water.
But yeah,
I'll find out.
For them hanging around just like, like, teasing each other. And how much older was his brother? Like 2-3 years?
My guess was he was like 16, maybe. No, well, he was driving at one point.
He was learning to drive.
So 15?
14 or 15, yeah.
15, maybe going
maybe he
on
had his
16.
permit or whatever.
And Elliot was what, 12, 11?
I think he was supposed to be, 11? No, maybe
That's
10.
What, was it 10?
No, he was older than that.
Fourth grade?
Fifth, I thought it was.
Is it fifth grade? They were dissecting.
The dissection.
Which we'll jump ahead. But
Yeah.
That sounds about 11 years old to me.
Okay.
Fifth grade, I believe.
He seemed younger to me. I don't know, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know that I heard the number in the movie, but
Henry Thomas was a genius in this movie.
he was great, man.
He was really good.
He did a great job. Absolutely a great job. All right. Together, Elliot and E.T. form a bond, and Elliot is soon mesmerized by E.T.'s innocence as well as his abilities, such as levitation, healing, and his glowing heart, which signifies his emotions. Hoping to keep him out of harm's way, Elliot hides E.T. in his bedroom closet, camouflaging him amongst the clothes and stuffed animals. He introduces E.T. to Michael and Gertie, who are soon convinced of E.T.'s benevolent nature. The three agree to keep E.T. a secret, which inevitably leads to several entertaining and touching moments as the movie progresses, including E.T.'s empathetic and telekinetic connection with Elliot. Nothing lasts forever, though. E.T. will have to depart Earth at some point, and the only way to contact his alien friends is to phone home. Meanwhile, E.T.'s health begins to subtly decline, depicted by a nearby chrysanthemum wilting. In tandem, Elliot, too, begins to feel unwell.
They're like linked.
Yeah, in some way.
So there's so many good parts in this, right? Like the Gertie teaches E.T. the alphabet, how to talk. E.T. gets the damn... gets drunk.
Yeah, did he get drunk at this point yet?
Yeah, so that's where he gets drunk, and then Elliot, because of this, the empathetic connection these two have, Elliot gets drunk at school, not touching a drop.
Right.
Kisses the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like all kinds of good stuff, man. It's hilarity.
What was he drinking? Coors
Banquet.
Yep.
That's
Some
what it
banquet
looked
beer.
like. Two things that stood out to me as memories from this movie, even from as a kid, are the flower wilting, and I always remember that, and then E.T. hiding in the with all the other stuffed animals.
Yeah.
I always remember that as a kid. It's like I haven't watched this movie in years, so watching it, like those are the ones that kind of stood out to me, and I remember from this little part of the movie.
I mean, this one has got to pull the biggest page out of Mel Brooks's book. The merchandising on E.T. had to make ridiculous money. I know, dude, every other kid I knew had an E.T. doll or an E.T. something.
Those little plastic...
the plastic
like
ones.
they look like Smurfs, but they were like a bunch of E.T.s from different parts of the movie.
The full-size plush. I mean, you name it.
Was there a McDonald's E.T. tie-in? I'm sure.
I think they had McDonald's E.T. glasses.
Is that what it was? Okay.
I'm pretty sure they did.
It was the glasses, yes.
Mm.
Do you guys remember... I think I said it before. You said that had nothing to do with E.T. The Heartlight song by Neil Diamond.
Turn on your heart light.
Yes, that was a song for this movie. I remember it like going to church all the time. It'd be on Casey Kasem's like top 40.
He wrote it for this movie?
Yes, Neil Diamond wrote "Turn on Your Heartlight" for this movie, but in Casey Kasem would be like, well, we have Neil. However he used to talk, but I remember going to church and always hearing it be like one of the top 5 all the time for like 3 months.
Why do you keep mentioning church? You're saying on your way to church.
Yes, because that's when the only time I would listen to Casey Kasem.
It was like on Sunday or whatever.
Yeah, it was like on a Sunday. Remember they had like Casey had his whatever countdown of the hits.
Okay,
remember
the
that?
way I'm hearing it now, maybe one of my cans is busted, but I keep hearing it as though like you're hearing this in church.
No. On my way to church, like driving there, they used to have like it would always be like 11 o'clock mass, so it'd be like the end of like Casey's like morning whatever countdown.
Dang, you guys went late.
Yeah, we went to the 11.
What was that thing he had? Long distance
dedication.
Long distance, yeah.
Like, my brother Joey has no legs, but he's trying to walk to church on Sunday.
But that song isn't anywhere remotely closely related to this movie.
It is for this movie, dude. I'm telling you.
Is it on the soundtrack?
It's not in the movie. It's not on the soundtrack.
No, it's not in the movie on the soundtrack. No, but it was made for this movie.
And then they turned it away.
Wait, it was inspired by the movie?
I think he wrote it for the movie.
And they said, fuck you, we don't want that stupid-ass song?
Not in the movie, but it was wrote for the movie to get people excited to go see the movie.
Wow. Like promotional or something.
Yeah, like a promotion. Yes.
That's the first I've ever heard that.
Yeah. I don't even know the song.
You don't even know?
Yeah, I don't even know, but
you know the song, man.
Oh, I know the song. It just sounds a stretch that it was written for E.T., but then Spielberg or whomever's associated with E.T. said thanks, but no thanks.
Okay, some of the lyrics are, I just made a friend is someone you need, but now that he had to go away, I still feel the words that he might say. Turn on your heart light, let it shine wherever you go, let it make a happy glow for all the world to see. Yeah.
Huh.
Turn on your heart light in the middle of a young boy's dream. Don't wake me up too soon. Let's take a ride across the moon. You and me.
I mean, that's all right. That's the lyrics.
If that is not E.T.,
that's the story of E.T.
That is pretty. Yeah, he wrote the whole story. Maybe it was his idea. Maybe Spielberg stole it from
the song.
Neil Diamond. I don't know.
You know what?
We need to look into this.
That is news to me. I would have never in a million years made that connection, specifically because that song is featured nowhere remotely close to this movie. Huh. I wonder if Neil Diamond wrote it. And again, they said,
if they said, you know what, Neil, too late.
Good try.
Yeah.
Good. I'll tell you what, since we have already made this movie successful, why don't you just ride on our coattails and release that song for yourself?
Yeah, maybe. I got to hear the song. I might have heard it.
You really never heard that?
Dude.
I got to hear it. Maybe I'll recognize it.
You've heard it.
Yeah.
I promise you've heard it.
I'm sure it's been on Casey Kasem, like you said.
Yeah, that's where I always remember it from. Remember from that movie E.T. Special. I don't know.
Yeah, that guy.
So did anyone notice how Elliot started referring to himself as we?
Oh, yeah.
Like he started getting so obsessed with E.T. or whatever. I guess Michael started giving him shit like, dude, he looks sick, man. I think something's wrong with him. And Elliot's like, we're fine. We're fine.
Like the connection there, yeah. I don't think as a little kid I picked up on that until the very end when they were both sick.
Mm-hmm.
But I was watching this through this time. I was like picking up on little clues.
Oh, sure.
That they were connected.
For sure.
I don't know. I don't even know, like as a kid being that young when I saw it, that I would have known he was getting drunk and that's why he was acting weird in class, you know. I don't think I would have connected that. Maybe though.
No, I was just looking up this Heartlight stuff because yeah, I find it interesting now.
We lost Matt for a moment.
Yes, you did. I'm back though.
Welcome back, Matt. As E.T. spends more time with Elliot and his family, the government agents seen at the beginning of the movie, led by a mysterious man known only as Keys, intensify their search for the extraterrestrial visitor. Their presence becomes an increasing threat to E.T.'s safety as they methodically search the neighborhood. Despite the looming danger, the bond between Elliot and E.T. continues to deepen, with Elliot becoming fiercely protective of his friend. The government's search remains intense, however, and it becomes evident that E.T.'s time with Elliot and his family will have to end, one way or another. So these guys were creeps, man. They're just rolling the neighborhood with a van and incredible
the white van
listening equipment, listening to everybody's. I mean, that's some deep state shit.
Yeah, that was it was like a black FBI van or what. I don't even know who this agency is. Are they FBI? Are they NASA? Are they like what?
They never really said.
They don't really
it's something.
say.
Yeah, I guess it's something like a Area 51 type.
Yeah,
right.
It's the secret stuff, the stuff where the money just goes, but it's never on the books.
Pretty impressive tech for 1982.
Hell yeah.
Back then, probably watching that, I was like, man, I can't believe they can listen in on your conversation.
Yeah.
Your call. Now they just do it with your phone, or you know what I mean?
True. Yeah.
Or your Alexa.
Everything's bugged anymore.
Right.
Everything.
But I thought that was a cool scene.
No, yeah, it was.
And they were just talking about their dad or something like that in the garage when they were like cleaning up.
Yeah,
because
so when they're cleaning up, they're hanging around at the table, and Elliot comes across their dad's old shirt, some shirt that he would wear for this, that, or the other thing. Maybe when he would work out in the garage, that was his, outdoor working shirt. Shit, I've got a closet full of so many old tees and pullovers and whatever that this is just. I'm going to turn this into a work clothes or something like that, or bum clothes or whatever. Dude, I should just throw them all away. Like boxes upon boxes upon boxes of this shit.
Yeah, but Dad had like a good job. That's why he was always like traveling. Correct.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
He hates Mexico.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that part.
But Dad's like always traveling for work, so he could never be home. But that's how they got that nice house there in Cali.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
So I didn't see Mom like working too hard. I don't know what she was doing.
I can promise you that Mary Taylor did not buy that house.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they were so mad at Dad, but Dad's like, look, I'm just trying to get you guys a nice house.
Mom was driving a nice Audi, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had an Atari. I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a nice looking place.
Dude, those kids had great rooms. Each kid had their own bedroom. Like, that's magically fantastic.
It's like a 4-bedroom home in the 80s.
With a pool.
What was up with the cornfields back?
It was development.
But is there cornfields in California?
There's corn everywhere.
Corn is everywhere. It's like prostitution.
Yeah,
true.
Everybody loves corn.
We found that out.
We did. All right. As time passes, E.T.'s health continues to deteriorate, and the decline is mirrored in Elliot. It's clear that the deep, empathetic bond they share manifests itself with tangible, detrimental effects to both of them. At one point, the children disguise E.T. and take him out for Halloween. Their plan is to take him to the location where he'd initially landed on Earth, affording him the chance to contact his comrades. Using a homemade communication device constructed from a mixture of household items, E.T. sends a message to his fellow aliens to come rescue him. The next day, Elliot awakens alone in the field and returns home. Michael is sent to find E.T. and discovers him dying, not far from the previous night's endeavors. Michael returns home with E.T., only to find that Elliot is now also gravely ill. As if the situation wasn't already tense enough, while in the midst of the chaos and uncertainty, Keyes and a group of government agents invade the house.
Yeah, busting through windows and all that.
Yeah, man, some SWAT team shit.
And that was the scene when they first went out. E.T. They took him out to try to contact his people.
Yep.
That's where we see him fly in the bike. Take the bike and
That's
fly
correct.
and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Did either of you guys have a basket on your bike at any point because of this movie?
No.
I wouldn't say I had one because of the movie. I had a basket for one day, and then it looked terribly awful. And it
like Paperboy.
Yeah, and it was not cool at all.
No.
So I got rid of that basket the same day I got that basket.
Because I didn't really see that as a trend in the 80s.
No.
You would think because of this movie, maybe early 80s kids were doing it. Like, I want to be like Elliot, you know what I mean? But
And by basket, it was pretty cool. He fashioned a milk crate on there.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. It
cool.
But it looked like something for like paper delivery, or if you had to like go to school with your bike.
Right.
Like I think that would work well, or to carry like an ET in it.
So how did E.T., what was all involved in E.T.'s communication device?
It was like a saw blade.
Definitely a saw
A record
blade,
player,
Yeah.
saw blade, like
speak and spell.
Speak and spell.
Yeah.
There was a blender in there.
all kinds of stuff. He was
Yeah.
dragging in there. It was just kind of like, let's see what's around.
Sure.
And put it together.
It's like Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, I think we could find the stuff down here when I'm looking around.
You might be right.
There's
You
a
might be
lot of-
absolutely right.
A lot of stuff down here.
And when you said Rockets Up, I thought you meant that song. Remember, doot 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 doot.
Rocket. Herbie Hancock.
Yeah, Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Oh, not to be confused with Rocket by Def Leppard.
Rocket.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a satellite of love. Satellite of love.
That's a good song.
Don't know.
Oh, about this part, yeah, it's funny. When I kept saying about E.T. when he's in the creek, I remember like my sister and I, we thought that was the funniest part for some reason.
Dude, the raccoon was trying
to eat him up.
Yeah,
I was like, come on, bro,
That's
it's
messed up,
E.T.
man. It's
E.T.,
E.T. Get that, shoo that raccoon the hell out of here.
Man, you.
I remember my sister and I, our neighbor had a pool, but we go in there like in the 3 foot. We like turn, we like, we like try to float and do like the ET thing.
Oh man,
I just remember that was like a thing that we thought was like the funniest part. I don't know why.
I had so much compassion for ET as a kid. I just remember like,
oh my God, yeah.
like, this time around being older, it didn't hit me. But I remember as a kid, like this movie, so many emotions.
Oh my God, yeah. Of course, dude.
And the way they portray, even from the very beginning, they make you like start to care about this character, even though he's an alien. It almost feels like a puppy or something. Like you brought home a puppy and you're trying to.
There's a lot of analogies to that. A lot of analogies, and I'm sure we'll end up talking about at the end when we really get into what did you think of the movie and shit like that. But
Right.
See, I don't remember it hitting me.
a lot. You're really hitting a lot, Dave. You are.
Did you cry at all?
Yeah, I don't remember hitting me like that as a kid. I thought like a lot of this stuff was comical. Looking back on it, like as I got like watching it recently, or in like the last couple, or when I showed it to my kids the first time, yes, you get like a little upset.
Emotional
It
and stuff.
starts hitting you. But as a kid, I thought it was hilarious.
That's funny.
Like I didn't think anything of like emotional or like this is like this weird little alien.
Right.
All I had was like a cat too. I didn't have like a close like
Like
bond
an
with like a
animal or
dog
something,
or
yeah.
See,
anything.
that's the Dahmer effect in you. You like beating animals.
No, and I
so when
never
ET
anything.
when ET got messed up, you started laughing and liking it.
Yeah, but E.T. he wasn't even like real. I mean, like he was real. Like I get it, but
Right.
He was like an extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Like
I
he
know
shouldn't
what you
even have
mean.
been there. I was like, go back to your country, man. Come on, Zap. Where's the conservative in you?
Yeah,
Man,
right.
if
I was like, man, get out of my country, bro.
if I tell you that E.T. is Mexican, would it be?
I would say.
Would it be more like?
How did he get over that universal wall?
Whatever.
I was like, come on,
would it be more,
E.T.
endearing to you that he's getting hurt, or would it hurt you more?
No, I didn't feel bad for E.T. at all as a kid. I'm saying that was like my sister and I didn't like him. I didn't like him.
First I grab him, then I choke him.
No, I do remember, like, it was upsetting to me as a kid.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched this the other day. I was crying.
Yeah, it hit you. You know
When
what I
you
mean?
get older, it does, yes. But when I was a kid, I didn't feel bad for him at all.
Actually, I'll take that a step further. Every time I watch this movie, I get teary. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I was going to try to send him home.
You both are
E.T., get your ass home. What are you doing here? He
you
didn't
are
even
a heartless bastard.
He didn't have no papers.
Build
I was
that
like, come
wall.
on, E.T.
Build that wall.
Yeah.
In the makeshift laboratory, now in place at Elliot's house, E.T.'s health diminishes rapidly while, simultaneously, Elliot begins to make a full recovery. E.T.'s and Elliot's empathetic bond breaks as E.T. passes and the light leaves his eyes. Elliot's feelings of loss can be felt throughout his entire body, now left with a gaping chasm where E.T. once was felt within him. Prior to evacuating the alien from the premises, Keyes affords a grief-stricken Elliot a final and tearful goodbye with his friend. Devastated, as though everything pure and good in his life had left him too soon, a heartbroken Elliot tells his alien friend that he loves him and closes the cold and sterile metal pod in which E.T. lay. But what's this? E.T.'s heart begins to glow once more. The chrysanthemum comes back to life. E.T. is alive! Yeah!
Yeah. Matt goes, boo.
No, that was disappointing. Yeah, I did. I booed the whole thing.
Yeah, one
I was
thing.
like, that's such crap.
I think a wethead, by the way, might be
a waterhead.
No, waterhead. I think that's like a mental retardation.
I think it's
that
like
what it
I think
is?
it's a Down syndrome
Yeah.
type thing. I think that's what they
okay.
used to.
But
they
that
used to
was-
call them in the '60s.
Let's get downsy.
It was in a movie, and I remember the guy going, "Whatever, you're a waterhead or something like that." And I was
Could
like,
be.
What kind of what is that? You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But one thing I got out of that is now I know how to pronounce chasm because that's in an upcoming episode, and I was going to mispronounce it.
Oh, good.
I was going to say chasm.
Oh, hey,
I didn't know how
that's
to
fine.
get the pronunciation right.
Yeah,
so
man,
that'll come in handy.
It's cool, man. Look what we did today.
Right.
I guess, waterhead means hydrocephalus.
Oh, for Christ's sake, Matt pulls out his goddamn phone.
It's because it tells me everything I need to know.
Is there a
Well, it's a condition where fluid begins to build up on the brain ventricles, causing increased pressure in the head, and you kind of get like goofy.
but it's not. It doesn't say anything about a slur or anything like
No.
that. Okay. Well,
So
good.
these
good to
scientists had some incredible technology, I got to tell you. So to be able to take DNA, to be able to monitor heart rates and do things that I wouldn't imagine anyone would know how to do on aliens, let alone simultaneously with a human. Like to keep these things going at the same time. I don't know. It seemed to be some miracle ass equipment.
Do you think though that they would be creating such a scene? Like, don't you think they would have like
Been a little
undercover
quiet. Yeah.
undercover
Yeah.
of night moved this alien out of like took him to
Agreed.
this I know
Definitely
it's a
some-
movie and all that, but I was thinking about that.
In real life, when this happens, and it does happen, they would pull an X-Files shit. They would get that alien the hell out of there as quickly as possible.
And people would be none the wiser. No neighborhood.
Correct.
Yeah,
kids
there wouldn't have
hanging
been
out.
big neighborhood or the big plastic things and the
Right.
vans and
In
that
the
wouldn't
neighborhood.
have happened.
No chance. Did anyone notice Steven Spielberg was one of the doctors?
I did not know.
No, I didn't know
He
that.
pulled a Mel Brooks.
Is that a
did.
fun fact?
No, it's it could be fun
Right.
if we'd like to have fun with the movie for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that watching it.
You don't even know.
I don't even know.
Yeah, he was. he had no speaking role, not one, but you saw him walk out after E.T. died. He's pulling off his rubber glove and he's walking out.
Okay, I'll have to look for
It's
that.
kind of like what's his name from the Marvel movies?
Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. Yeah, he's always in like a little part.
scene
Yep.
or whatever. Okay.
Hmm.
I mean, I got to say, I'd probably do that
I would.
just to be
This
in.
is my
You know
movie.
what I mean?
Sure, my movie. I'm going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to go back. I got to tell you, this is a heart crushing moment in the movie for me. Look, if you have any element of a soul in you,
Mm-hmm.
when E.T. dies, dude, that's painful. That's painful to watch.
You know, oddly enough, I didn't remember because I haven't seen this in a while for sure that that he died and came back. I couldn't remember because I
Right.
didn't remember the whole ending of the movie. I mean, it's been a long, long time. I know I've seen it since I was 6 or 7 years old or whatever. But
I thought it was his time.
You wanted it to end. You turned it off right there.
Yeah, I was like, that's good. That should be the way it ends.
See, that's the thing. I don't know if he cut enough lawns to earn his keep, so he had to die.
The Matt cut would have ended right there.
Yeah, that would have been the whole, and I would have won the Oscar for realism.
Yep,
in the movie.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's realism, dude. But how exciting it was to watch E.T. come back to life! Like, how exciting is that? And E.T.'s all excited. He just can't stop talking. His eyeballs are all big and poppy. His heart's all red and pounding.
Doesn't he start getting all excited, like Elliot?
Yeah, he won't like shut up. And
he won't shut up, and then
keep saying E.T. phone home, E.T. phone home.
But see, then Elliot tried to choke him out. He was like,
tried to finish him off.
First,
he's like, you're done.
Then I choke him.
Yeah,
he was trying to cover his mouth, and they were like, "Oh, Elliot's trying to keep him quiet." No, he's trying to kill him. He's like, "E.T., why don't you die, bro?"
I know, man. Look, Matt wants to end the movie. You got to stay dead. Matt wants to end it.
Stay dead, E.T.
This movie shifts gears a lot, and there's a lot of different. You could say different. Like it's funny and it's scary,
an emotional roller coaster.
It's just all over the place.
Yeah, it is absolutely all over the place. All right, moving along. Elliot and Michael swiftly put an audacious plan in motion to get E.T. to a location where he can safely make contact with the spaceship and fellow E.T.s. Pulling all of their resources, Michael enlists the help of his friends with bicycles to transport E.T. through the neighborhood and into the surrounding forest. The operation becomes a thrilling chase sequence filled with close calls as the children navigate obstacles and evade the pursuing agents. In a climactic moment, just as the agents close in, E.T. uses his levitation abilities to lift the bicycles into the air. They soar over the agents and the dense forest, creating the unforgettable, iconic scene that captures one's imagination and true sense of adventure. And it does.
It does.
It does. Even if you're Matt, that heartless bastard.
Nah, E.T.'s the devil with that black magic. We didn't need that shit. I was like, man, look, they're going to get so busted. And then E.T.'s like, oh, let me get all devilly.
So busted.
And they start flying. I was like, come on, man. Come on, E.T.
Is there a fun fact about the rifles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know about that one?
Of course.
Okay. I got to say, though, these special effects here were a little bad. I mean, it's
Agreed.
1982. Like,
Agreed.
But I just, now I have a DVD copy, like a 20th anniversary
As do
copy.
I got a fun fact about that one.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it had the updated stuff in it.
They were both in it.
Okay.
It's a 2-disc set.
Right. How did you watch it? Like, do you have it on
VHS?
VHS. Oh, wow. So you have the OG.
I have the OG, yeah. It's like falling apart. It's all like that dark color on like
there's like mold on it.
Yeah. It's not moldy yet, but.
Well, I'm wondering if
you've seen like copier toners falling off of the cassette.
No. You know how like the cardboardish cassette gets like kind of that weird brown to it. Yeah.
It's from not wiping your ass when you pick up your VHSs.
I'm wondering if we saw a separate version than what he saw. Like if we saw extra stuff. You know what I'm trying to get around to?
Yeah.
It'll come up in the fun facts.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you go to Orlando and you go to Disney, what is that? Disney World is Orlando. They have the E.T. ride. I don't know if you did it when you were there.
They still have
That's not Disney.
Yes, it is Disney. Or is it Universal? Is that Universal?
Disney. Yes.
They have that still?
Yes, they have the E.T. ride.
And what do you do on it?
You get on a bike and you go around like you're E.T.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I kind of.
But it's pretty much the same set that they must have used in the original E.T.
So the ride at Universal.
The one that they have. Yes, Universal, not
Universal Studios.
It's called E.T. Adventure. It is a suspended dark ride.
Okay. I was there. I don't know if I rode that.
I thought it suspensefully sucked.
No, it's a suspended dark ride. And if you've never ridden it, it's awesome. Like I would spend the money just to go ride that ride.
I did the Simpsons thing.
But then they had like little E.T. babies and stuff in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's the whole forest. And what's great about that one, it's just to give a little extra special touch at the end. E.T. says goodbye to you by name.
Yes, he does. Because you got to register your name in the beginning.
They say, give us your name and then we'll give you this card. I mean, it's basically your galactical passport. But what that really is they input your name on this card and it registers with your vehicle that you're in. That when you get to a particular point, it clicks something with the computer for the computer to have ET say, goodbye, Zap, goodbye, Dave, fuck off, Matt.
Well, no, even my kid said this is the most crap I've seen since I've been in Disney.
Well, your kid's spoiled. He has a terrible parent.
I didn't disagree. I don't know.
Such a good ride. Such a hateful Matt.
I thought Peter Pan was better than the E.T. ride.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. One's in like a cloud type thing, and the other is just like E.T.'s bike.
Yeah, I remember the Simpsons ride, and then they had Harry Potter. That stuff was cool.
Simpsons is a damn good ride.
That'll make you sick, though.
It'll shake you up.
You got to close your eyes.
Yeah, it'll definitely
every
shake you
so
up.
often.
Yeah.
I think I went to the bar. They have one of the bars there. You can get
some Duff beer.
Moe's Tavern is right there.
No, that's it.
Moe's.
And they had all kinds of like cool pictures of Moe when he was like in the service, and it was kind of just like watching The Simpsons. It was neat. I did like that part.
That was cool.
But you hated E.T.
I didn't hate E.T. I don't know. As I got older, I appreciate the movie more. When I was a kid, like I said, my sister and I thought it was like the funniest thing.
You weren't digging it back then.
No, I wasn't digging it.
Hate.
It's not hate.
Now at their destination, the communication device successfully signals E.T.'s spaceship, which descends from the night sky to take him home. The emotional farewell is filled with heartfelt moments as E.T. expresses his gratitude to Elliot, Michael, and Gertie. He assures them that he will be all right and that the bond they share will endure. The friendship between Elliot and E.T. is highlighted in a tearful parting, with E.T. touching Elliot's forehead and saying his iconic words, "I'll be right here," reminding him that their connection will forever transcend distance, space, and time. The sorrow of parting is mixed with the joy of knowing that E.T. will now be safe and reunited with his own kind. As the spaceship ascends into the sky, taking E.T. back to his home planet, it leaves a rainbow in its wake and profound feelings in our hearts. Except Matt.
Was there a part there at the end where he asked Elliot to go with him?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Elliot responds with,
hell no.
E.T. says basically come with, and Elliot says stay.
Stay,
so,
so they're back and forth.
Yes, it's basically like, why don't you come with? Wait, well, no, why don't you just stay here?
Mm-hmm.
So they had like a violent relationship already.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like playing games. Come on, guys.
It's a shame, man. I thought Matt was supposed to like aliens, or at least illegal aliens.
Yes,
It's a
but
shame,
not
man.
E.T. Not E.T.
That's a shame.
And
let's
E.T.
see.
lied to him too. He never came back.
He didn't come back.
No, he left in that janky ass spaceship.
What if you went?
What?
If you had like an alien friend like that?
Hell no.
Shit, yeah.
You would've went along?
What do I want to do? Hang out with Matt? I'm getting off the fucking planet.
Nah, man. You would leave all this behind to go somewhere.
You don't even know what's up there.
Yeah,
You
you
don't
don't
even
know
know.
what's up there.
You don't even know.
Well,
I
don't
mean,
know.
I wouldn't go. At that point, I haven't even flown yet. I guess. Well, no, you would have on your bike.
I always thought at
But
the
I
end, and even as a kid, I had thought that so at the end, the whole family is standing there as the ETs come back, and ET proper goes on with all the other ETs. So the whole family's there. So is Keys, the government dude.
Oh yeah.
I always thought he was going to hook up with, or like
The
get
mom.
together with the mom.
Yeah.
You probably did.
I'm
Probably.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, that's the other thing now watching this movie. I'm like, man, mom's kind of good looking. What's her name? Dee Wallace?
D's nuts.
D's nuts. Yeah.
He's Wallace.
Dee Wallace.
And there was a scene in that the D&D scene in the beginning. One of the kids, did he try to grab her ass or something like
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Which was apparently okay.
I
back
thought
in
of
the
Matt.
80s. Yeah,
I thought of Matt immediately as I saw that.
Hey, what, have you
Dude, and
done
I'm
that?
not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. It was based on the conversation we'd had outside.
Oh, okay.
I'm watching this movie the other day, and I'm like, that would have been fucking Matt.
Were you devilish like that as a kid?
I wasn't devilish. I would get in trouble for dumb things, but I wasn't like devilish.
She was into people's moms.
But what have you
I
been?
wasn't into people's moms.
What have you been ballsy enough to try that? Just to even hover your hand there, like I'm gonna maybe grab it.
Maybe in like 8th grade, not in like 5th or 6th.
Yeah, definitely not in 5th or
Zap,
6th.
you would have done that?
Fuck no.
No.
Like if it's a small kitchen, I might do like the bump and roll. You know what I mean?
Try to squeeze by.
Yeah, like
Bump and roll.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Roll out.
Pardon me.
It's so early in the morning. I didn't mean to bump you. Nah.
Sounds like you got a slow roaster.
Slow roaster. That's good.
We found
I
out
learned that
about
today. Yeah.
Something new.
So what an iconic. So I'll be right here. That what E.T. says to his parting words to Elliot. When Elliot first meets E.T. and they're hanging out in his bedroom, and he's like, dude, okay, look, I gotta, like, here's a car, and here's food that we eat, and here's this, and here's a shoe, and here's whatever. He's, I'm gonna run and go grab some food. Are you hungry? I'm gonna grab some food. Look, I'll be right here. I'll be right here. These were his words to E.T. to calm him down. Like, dude, don't freak out. I understand you can't speak a lick of English. You don't understand what I'm saying, and you're from a completely different planet. But maybe you could just understand my emotions when I say, look, I'll be right here. It's cool. I'll be right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how to see that, not funny at all, but it's touching to see it circle back around. And now E.T.'s using it metaphorically, like, look, I'll be right here in your mind and in your heart, and I'll always be with you.
I didn't even catch that. Yeah, that's
Your
pretty good.
heart light.
Good observation there.
Indeed.
Fun facts. Ooh, guess it's about that time.
Hell yeah, it's about that time.
Who wants to lead it off?
Just an observation, not even a fun fact. The guy that played Michael, actor Robert McNaughton, this is Elliot's older brother. Dude, forever, I thought that was the actor that played Denny Noonan from
Caddyshack, yes.
100, I swear to God. Swear to God.
I do know that now you're saying that I can see the resemblance.
Shit, yeah. Even the janky has teeth.
Yeah.
Noonan.
So those bikes, and I never knew this about this, but I looked it up because we did RAD, and we've been talking about BMX in the past month. So those were a 1981 Kuwahara.
Oh.
That was custom built for the movie. I guess there were 5 bikes in the movie, and I think they said they built 2 for each. You know what I mean? One as a backup and one for the film. One of those actually went up for sale for auction. It was within a couple years ago, I believe, and it was like 50 to 60,000 was like the starting bid. So
that's money.
Kuwahara was obviously one of those brands we talk about, like GT, Mongoose, all that stuff. So
I know, but you have the one that was featured in E.T. That's going to fetch some big dollars.
Yeah, it was a specific paint scheme they did.
Well, it's because of the mags too were completely like different than any other bike you would see. You would know it.
Custom.
Yeah, the one that was the 50 was the one Elliot was riding, and it was that color scheme. It was like white and gold and other colors in there, red, and I forget what else. So,
yes. By the power of the interweb,
right?
I was doing some quick research, which Zap hates when I'm on my phone, but I get it. But anyway, I was looking into Heartlight, and I would have to say that Zap is correct in saying that Neil Diamond took that song as this movie was out and wrote it
after the movie was out, and he was making a ton of success off that. So apparently, it got caught up in court. And I think they settled for $25,000. That he had to pay to Spielberg?
That he had to pay to whatever the studio was.
It sounds to me like Neil Diamond's a thieving, lazy bitch, which explains to me why you would like him so much, Matt.
Well, in court, they were saying that really he could have used whatever he wanted. I can make a song about...
Yeah,
whatever I want, but they're saying the similarities were close enough. And he was like, look, I'll give this... He didn't even have to give anything. And he said, I'll give him $25,000 and just tell him to shut up. And I guess that's where it ended.
That's amazing to me that they could have even pursued that as a lawsuit. Sure, it's not like you're plagiarizing.
He sure is. He's telling the story of a movie.
He did basically tell the story of a movie that was out.
Yeah. Song,
but it was a song.
In sing-song form.
Yeah. I mean, I get, but are people going to go, I don't need to see the movie, I just heard the song?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Yo, man, that Heartlight is dope. I don't even need to see that movie. Yeah, I wouldn't blame him because the Diamond song was...
He's such a lyricist that...
Amazing.
He painted the picture. I just saw it.
Keep your money, movie theater. Keep your dollar ticket.
Keep your. What did they make off it? $750 million
and 20.
Yeah. I don't think Spielberg was that worried about it.
$792 million. Is that right?
Yeah, and then tack that $25,000 on there. Yes.
Again with the merchandising.
What about the merch?
Yeah. Holy shit! So you had mentioned it cost them $10.5 million to make, which again, $10.5 million to make, which turned into $792 million.
Mm-hmm.
Of that $10.5 million, $1.5 million was spent on creating the E.T. character.
Wow.
Creating the doll, the costume, the mechanics behind it.
That neck thing.
The neck thing, the glowing heart thing, the everything.
Speaking of E.T., his face was modeled after poet Carl Sandburg, Albert Einstein, and a pug dog. And this unique combination gave E.T. his endearing and memorable look.
Again, I didn't think E.T. was like a cute looking thing.
No, he looked real.
It was the face only a mother could love.
He was pretty whack.
Not real, but like
your Beats is whack, yo.
His Beats was whack, man.
They could have made him like a cute, like furry
fuzzy
looking thing. Whatever,
like come on, Spielberg.
Yeah.
So, fun fact: we were talking about it earlier that it took 3 people to play E.T. So again, E.T. was for sure a doll. Like it wasn't a robot. It was a costume. The 3 people that played him were Tamara Detroit, Pat Bylan. Both of them were dwarves. That you would see them in the only standing.
They would be in like the body part.
They're in the body. They would see through his chest, and the head was animatronic. The head and the neck was animatronic. It took 12-year-old Matthew Demerit, who I'd mentioned. I didn't mention he was 12, but I mentioned his name, Matt Demerit, So he's 12 years old, and this kid was born without legs.
Yeah, I heard about that. And
He played at any scene you see where E.T. is walking or falling over, that's actually Matt Demerit walking on his hands.
Mm-hmm.
So E.T.'s feet are actually hands.
That's wild.
Wow.
Wow, now I feel horrible.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that fun fact. So I was like, man, this ET guy can't even walk.
Making fun of that.
But yeah, that was. Oh man, I feel like a jerk.
You are.
Thanks for that fun fact.
Well, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Poor ET.
One of the people I'd mentioned were his boys. You had Steven Spielberg.
Hawkins. I thought you said Hawkins.
No. So are you still making fun of people with disabilities, man?
No, I just.
Wow. When do you stop?
Because he was like Elliot.
So you had Steven Spielberg, you had Caden Green, and you had Pat Welsh. So Pat Welsh was a 2-pack-a-day smoker. She did.
That's how they got that raspy.
She had by far and away the majority of the speaking voice or the speaking parts for ET.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, what you got?
That the ET Extra-Terrestrial was the highest grossing film of all time until it was surpassed by another Spielberg movie. Do you guys know what that was?
Jurassic Park.
Yes, in 1993. Yes.
Do you think Jurassic Park is better than E.T.?
No.
Oh,
okay. So wait, what do you mean better? Cinematically, better special effects, better story, better whatever.
Just a movie in general.
Hotter chicks.
Well, not that. But do you enjoy E.T. more than, or Jurassic Park more than E.T.? Or would you just say they're so different that you can't compare them?
I can't compare the two.
Okay. Matt, how about you?
Oh.
I can't say I like one more than the other because they're both so great on their own merits.
They are great movies.
Yeah, I would hate to say it, but I agree with Zap on the. No, they're just completely.
I hate to say that I agree with Zap.
They're completely different movies. E.T. was a genius movie, but Jurassic Park was on a whole nother level. I think also at my age, and seeing that from being a kid to being a like young.
That was 17, like
16, 17. Yeah, Jurassic Park was kind of like a wow type moment.
That's why I wanted to ask you, because I really was thinking about that, and I was like, man, I really like them both. I don't even know which one, so I'm glad I'm not the only one that couldn't pick between the two.
Couldn't do it.
They are just so different.
Yeah, that's apples and oranges, not apples and apples.
Peter Coyote, who played the role of Keys, was a close friend of Steven Spielberg and got the part primarily because of that connection. That's how he got
just because he knew Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, basically.
He's like, dude,
in the movie.
give me a job.
Yeah.
Did he go on to do anything else?
I don't know. He didn't look familiar to me from anything, but I mean, maybe a couple of those other 80s flicks.
It's a cool ass name, man.
Yeah.
Coyote. Smuggling aliens.
Yeah. Precisely. Or eating aliens.
I get it.
Let's see. Since we're talking about Steven Spielberg and we had mentioned about was there a sequel or why wasn't there a sequel, or you never saw anything more of E.T. Spielberg has been vehemently opposed to any thoughts whatsoever at all about a sequel.
Was there something about one of the dwarves that had died?
No,
that he didn't want to, in honor of that person, and it
not at all.
Money talks.
Yeah,
no, I know.
It's not even the money talks, but I could tell you that he cares very little about a dead dwarf. Instead, he just cares about the wholesome and not the wholesomeness, the pureness of the standalone movie. But it's like, look, it's its own. Like there's no prequel, there's no sequel. It's just it. Anything more than this story would ruin the story.
I think he was. I can't believe I made this much money off of making up this story.
But he
was probably like, I'm done. I'm good.
If you remember back, and I don't know if you guys remember this, but I do remember this. E.T. did not come out on like VHS until like 1987 or something like that.
That makes sense.
It was like a long. Like most movies, it was a year later. You could rent it.
I wouldn't be surprised they were bringing it back to the theaters.
They probably kept bringing it back, making more money.
Well, they did bring it back in 85.
Yep.
But that was 82 to 85. But it didn't get released. I remember that because I was waiting on it. Like, I'd like to see that movie again. It didn't get released till much later. In my memory, that's what I remember. I didn't come across anything on the fun facts here. I should have probably looked it up, honestly, because I remember that. But, yeah. I have one here, and I'm sure you have it too, about the candy.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was initially supposed to be M&M's.
Yep.
And
M&M's was approached.
It was approached, and they were like, we want the script, and they were like, we're not going to give you the script. We have this movie, but we're not giving you the script. So they declined it, and then they went to Hershey's. They wanted to use the Hershey Kiss, and Hershey was like, we have this new candy coming out or whatever, Reese's Pieces, and that's what they did. They ended up doing. And they said their sales, like, Hershey the next year like rose by like 65% or something crazy like that.
Thanks so much to Reese's Pieces. So the way I read it was M&M's M&M's looked at whatever they were able to see relative to subtle details about it, and they heard things like Alien and Kid Story and blah blah blah, and M&M's had concluded that, well, maybe we feel that kids might be scared by this movie. So when we were going through it earlier, yeah, that's it. So it was Dave who had said at one point, like, if you're a kid watching, there are certainly moments where you can be scared, and that of course that did happen, but it certainly didn't hinder Reese's from picking up the pieces when M&M's dropped that contract like fools and ran with it.
Yeah, that was big money. That you can thank them probably for that park and everything else.
Yeah, cool.
You know what I mean? $20 parking.
Man,
Thank you, E.T.
Yeah, thanks E.T. for that.
So it's interesting. Who said that? Maybe it was Matt earlier who'd said, like, I wonder if Spielberg was surprised that he made this much money off of this movie. It's interesting to hear that because the whole concept of E.T. was Spielberg's childhood. E.T. that was Spielberg's imaginary friend as a kid after his parents divorced. He thought he had an imaginary alien friend, and it served as the older brother he never had, and it served as his biological who didn't bother, his dad that had left.
I thought it was Jesus that lived next door.
Could have been, but either way, it was again his coping mechanism, if nothing else, and he turned it into a movie. Smart guy, made a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I think that's why there was never a second one, because he was like, wow, I made this. And like you said, it's something he grew up with. It was his thing in his mind. He's like, look, I'm good. I can't believe I made this much out of a childhood story.
And it's surprising, though, because of the greed usually. It's like, just keep milking it.
Oh, he could have did like 6 of them. Yeah.
Easily. He could have just kept selling it. But think about all the movies that were inspired by E.T. Like, I was thinking about like Mac and Me and like,
that was terrible.
That was awful.
Short Circuit and all these.
Short Circuit was good.
Yeah, that was good. Johnny
Good and
Number 5 and all that.
Good and terrible.
Maybe even like you would think maybe like a movie like Explorers. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
with River Phoenix
for sure.
All that, yeah. All those movies that had to do with like kids and space and aliens and all that. They probably saw E.T. and were like, man, that's where it's at.
Yeah,
that's where the money's at.
Well, any kid growing up, like you look at space and think it's something or think of something out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
What do you got, Dave?
The film special effects were overseen by Industrial Light and Magic.
There's the George Lucas tie-in.
That's those guys work together, I think, on a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking like it would be a Henson thing, I guess. But no, I guess Industrial Light and Magic.
Hell yeah. Yeah, actually, I don't want to say you can tell, but the scene looked very similar between Jedi and the E.T. scene with the kid riding the bike, and you see the background. Again, we talked about the special effects before, so when the bikes are elevated and the kid's flying around, I think it's actually C. Thomas Howell's character, where you see the background of the landscape below, clearly illustrating that the kid's flying. It reminds me a lot of what the land speeders look like in Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah, back to those kids, I forgot 2 things I wanted to touch on. The one had a Camus hat on. Did you see that? It was a CAMUS. The one kid, it was like an orange hat, and I was looking it up to just see what that was or what the product placement was. Couldn't really find anything out about it. There's not much out there. There's people that do like basically a knockoff hat of that for people that love the movie. Yeah. But it's not like a company or anything I could find in it. And how about that other kid's headphones? He had
the big one? Yeah.
Those like with the EQs on the side and like the massive.
The antenna?
Yes.
So it was a radio.
It
was basically a radio split up between 2 headphones, between the left and the right side.
Yeah, that kid, he looked familiar too. I think he was in like one of the Nightmare on Elm Streets or something.
I was waiting for you to tell me he got brain cancer after having worn that goddamn headset
for days upon days.
He might. I don't know.
He could have.
Yeah.
Let's see. M&M's. We just mentioned C. Thomas Howell. Ralph Macchio was initially considered for that role that C. Thomas Howell played.
Oh, wow.
And I got to mention, like, I hate saying his name as much as I do for this movie because he just played a bit part. He just had a couple of lines of dialogue, and that was it.
The C. Thomas Howell.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, why would they even put that?
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Did he die or something? Some tragic death?
Who, C. Thomas Howell?
Yeah.
In real life?
Yeah.
No, he's still around.
Then who gives a shit about that asshole?
He's actually on TikTok the other day. I saw a couple weeks ago. He was on
OnlyFans.
Yeah, on OnlyFans.
He's selling, he's doing foot porn.
Yeah.
Smart.
Fun fact, Spielberg shot this film in chronological order for benefit of the child actors. So their emotional responses would be genuine. So nice. It was actually very challenging for them to do that, and it actually ended up costing them more money. He was worried at one point they were going to run out of budget money.
Spielberg doesn't run out of money. No, he finds the money.
At this point, he was pretty established, right?
Shit,
82?
yeah.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think here. So Spielberg at this time, 82. By now, he's had what? Indiana Jones, was that out? The first one, I guess.
The first one would have been out.
No, I'm sorry, not
Dr.
Indiana Jones. That's not what it's called, right? What is it?
Huh?
Oh, it's called
Raiders of the
Lost Ark.
Yeah.
So Raiders of the Lost Ark would have been out by now. He also would have done Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and he also would have done Jaws.
I like Close Encounters better than E.T.
Well,
you're a racist.
That's one I got to go back and watch because I'd probably appreciate
Close
that now.
Richard Dreyfuss, that was a good movie.
Yeah, that's one I'd probably appreciate now being an adult.
You would also like Close Encounters with People's Mothers.
Yeah, right.
Getting only just because E.T. was, I don't know, it was just E.T.
Yeah,
I like the song better, but it's okay.
Fun fact: the teacher, Elliot's teacher, his biology teacher, the one that's teaching him when they're dissecting the frogs,
yeah.
that's Harrison Ford.
Oh,
It's Harrison Ford.
They don't show. I didn't even know.
They-
you just say the voice, right?
Spielberg on purpose took out any headshots
Yeah.
of Harrison Ford.
Ah, okay. Because I didn't
It's
catch
just the voice.
Okay.
It is the voice. It is the mannerisms.
Mhm.
It is everything. It is just he did not shoot Harrison Ford's head because he didn't want to be.
He didn't want to show Raiders.
Yeah,
I got you.
that's exactly it. He didn't want to have Raiders overshadowing the idea of ET.
That was cool though.
This film won 4 Academy Awards, but lost Best Picture to. You want to take a guess? That year?
On Golden Mat.
On Golden Pond was a good movie.
Yeah.
What was it?
Gandhi.
Mahatma.
Who gives a good goddamn about Gandhi?
Yeah, but Spielberg was pretty disappointed.
Oh yeah, I don't care about Gandhi.
Yeah.
I would send the alien back. Poor Gandhi.
You got anything else?
I only have one. I only have a couple more, but they're both more on the personal side. So,
Yeah, go for it.
fun fact: the 20-year anniversary CD.
DVD.
My bad. The 20-year anniversary DVD of this of ET was the first birthday gift I'd ever received from my wife when we were dating. Yeah.
So 2002.
2002, 2003, I'd gotten a copy for my birthday.
That's awesome.
So additionally, my wife and I, we dressed up as ET and Gertie for Halloween.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like last year or the year before, whenever we did Napoleon. And
You guys usually have good ones.
A couple years before that, I was Elliot, and I had her ET, her stuffed ET, wrapped in the old blanket.
Nice. Well, actually, that's what I was talking about earlier. Is with the 20-year anniversary. That's the DVD that I have. Supposedly, there's enhanced special effects and different things in it. And I was thinking, like, if Matt watched the VHS, so that's the OG, the original. I wonder what they added or changed. If there's scenes that maybe he didn't see.
Oh, probably a ton when you go to like the DVDs.
But I'm just talking about the special effects that they went and cleaned it up. Like they did with Star Wars. They added all that stuff with Jabba the Hutt and all that. And like later.
Which harkens back to one of the things we were talking about is the guns.
Yeah, so, they were walkie-talkie.
Mm-hmm.
So they took the rifles and shotguns out of the cops' hands and they replaced them with walkie-talkies and whatever.
To be less intense,
lollipops.
Yeah, heaven forbid.
For the kids and stuff. It was the 80s, though. I'm surprised they even cared about that back then.
So that 20-year anniversary, John, comes with 2 discs. One disc is the revised, touchy-felt, new special effects, remove rifles, add...
Oh, so they took rifles out?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's one of the things they took out. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. And the second disc contains the original theatrical release.
Okay.
Which is the one I watched.
That's the one I should have watched then.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't watch the right. I don't know. I have the I didn't know there were 2 discs in there.
2 discs.
Oh, well, I'll have to check it out. I will watch it again. Speaking of which, I guess it's about that time that we late fee, return, or burn.
Sure.
Matt, do you want to lead it off this time?
Yes, I will lead this off.
I'm going to call INS.
We didn't start the fire.
As a kid, I remember, like, honestly, like, I didn't think much of this movie. Like, I thought it was funny. I thought it was more of like a comedy. Like, I thought like a Mel Brooks type thing. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Like, my sister and I would we would crush this movie when we saw it. Like, we'd just make fun of it a shit ton. Watching it as an older person and like with your kids and stuff, I thought it was a great movie. So as a kid, I'd probably return it and watch it once, maybe watch it again so I could like make more fun of it. But as an adult, I think it's a great movie. It is. It's touching. It's heartwarming. And E.T., he should have died the first time.
Did your kids like it?
He should have stayed dead.
He should have stayed dead the first time. There's no way he was coming back. And then Elliot should have crashed too with him.
Dang.
Should have been a double burial.
Dang.
Ending, like flowers on the grave. It had a little E.T. grave. Little Elliot grave. But then maybe if E.T. came to life, him and Elliot could have it could have been like Pet Cemetery.
With the dead
They could have rose back up.
Damn.
But anyway, All right, yeah, but it's a great movie. I mean, it's a classic forever. It'll be here 100 years from now.
It definitely will. I think it was on that. They make a list of like movies that are protected or whatever. I forget what even.
Oh,
it's called.
In the Smithsonian, yes.
Well, I don't even know what the list is called.
Library of Congress.
Maybe that's what it was. This got put on that list. So, and I think deservedly so.
Was there? Did we get an answer? I was too busy listening to other stuff. Was it late fee return or better?
I would return it. Yeah,
and now as an adult.
As an adult, yeah, I'd watch it and enjoy it, and keep it. Back. Yeah, and then I'd take it back.
I'd say both times. As a kid, I'd late fee it, and as an adult, I'm late feeing it. I enjoy it. I still enjoy it. I see it from a different perspective now. This is one that I would put up there, probably my top 10 for sure movies of all time.
Top 10.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's just like it captures nostalgia for me. It's one of the first movies I remember seeing that I really, really liked. I saw that other movie. I didn't understand what was going on. I was so little. But E.T. is like, for me, like just great memories. And even watching it now, I enjoyed it. I sat down here by myself, which helped in my theater room with the surround sound and all that, and really took it in, and I loved it. So I'm late feeing it both times.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm right there with you. Cool. You said a lot of everything I would say, would have otherwise said. As a kid, I remember just cherishing this movie, really, really, really loving this movie a lot. As an adult, again, I mentioned this is even besides the fact that this is one of my wife's and my, little things that we do. This is one of our movies, right? One of the things we enjoy together. That aside, I just love it as a kid, as an adult. Fantastic movie. It touches on a lot of emotions. It touches on a lot of attributes. It touches on a lot of qualities. It's just, in my opinion, just a fantastic, well done movie all the way around. Late fee forever. Hell, I would just, hey,
it would still be late. You would just keep
buying it. Yeah, I'm buying it from you. I'll give you $100.
$124.
He would pay. Yeah, and that's kind of, I'm approaching that.
Yep,
for sure. But I love this movie and still do. So I think next week or the next time we're back, it's going to be Matt's movie, and this is going to be another 80s movie, but a little bit different storyline. Johnny Be Good. And what year was that? 87, 88?
86, 87?
Yeah, it'll be in the next movie we're doing.
Is that the one with Johnny Depp where he's in a prison?
No. Johnny Be Good.
That's Crybaby.
Thank you. That's Crybaby.
Johnny Be Good is with what's his name? Anthony Michael Hall and
Uma Thurman, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. They play football, high school football, and
it's kind of like it's like a kickoff to the football season.
Yeah, it's a Johnny B. And I really like the movie. Have you never seen it, Zach?
Never.
So this will be an experience for sure.
It's no E.T.
Yeah, definitely not an E.T. No. Totally different movie, but enjoyable, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So speaking of that, I hope you're enjoying the podcast. And if you are, leave that 5-star rating on Apple and Spotify. Leave us a written review. On Facebook, we have our movie list in there. Don't be afraid to add movies in there. We're going to try to get to them when we can. And I guess that's it for now. So we'll catch you where?
On the flip side.
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
Peace. Thanks for listening to The Vintage Cinema Review in the Old Dirty Basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.